We've a mission for you.
Ready?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates. In this video I wanted to go over some hidden Easter eggs and references that can be found in the new Rogue One movie related to the Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars series, as well as some in the other movies. This video is going to contain spoilers for the movie, as otherwise it would be impossible to talk about these Easter eggs. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, I would suggest you to come back and watch this video after you've seen the movie. It will not contain any major spoilers about who dies or something like that, but if you want to watch the movie without knowing anything in advance, I would suggest you to not watch this video. Keep in mind that since no footage is available outside the cinema except for some illegal mobile footage, many of these Easter eggs and references are things that me and many others spotted during the movie, and that you will simply have to look out for yourself if you watch the movie again, since I obviously can't show them in the video. But now, let's start off with the references to the Rebels animated series that can be found in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. During the scene when Jyn is on Yavin 4 to gather troops for an attack to Scarif, you can actually hear the speakers call out for General Syndulla, which instantly put a smile on my face, as it means that by the time of A New Hope or Rogue One, which is a couple of days before that, some of the characters of the Rebel series is still alive. We don't know if General Syndulla refers to Cham or Hera, but my bet is on Hera, as she already worked her way up in the ranks a bit during the actual series, so it would make a lot of sense for her to become a general. And Cham has felt more like someone to lead troopers on the ground, and it also wouldn't surprise me if he happens to die sometime during the Rebel series. While we're on Yavin 4, you can actually see the ghost in one of the scenes. I personally missed this during the screening, but I've heard from multiple people that the ghost was shown on Yavin 4 as well as in the final battle above Scarif, which is something we even saw in some of the trailers beforehand. It doesn't necessarily have to be the ghost, but could be a ship of the same model, but considering that Syndulla is directly mentioned, it would make a lot of sense for the ghost to be in this battle. On top of that, there's also been reports of Chopper being on Yavin 4 as well. This is something I did not personally see, but according to multiple sources, you can briefly see him in the background, as well as hear his iconic sound very faintly. While we're talking about the crew of the Ghost, there's also been quite a few reports of some interesting sightings in Saw Gerrera's hideout on Jedha. The first one being a Lasat shown very briefly in the background. Although not confirmed, I would guess that this is not Seb, even if it is a Lasat. But if it's true, I still think it's pretty cool. There's also been reports of seeing a young version of Maz Kanata's race in that hideout. If it's Maz herself is probably unlikely, but it is very reasonable to think that they use a lot of the races they've added through the new movies and series into a Rogue One. Another thing that my friend Christian spotted was a Twi'lek that looked very similar to Bib Fortuna. It could obviously be someone else, but it wouldn't be completely unlikely that he or someone from his family was involved with these rebels. One thing is for sure, the next time I see Rogue One, I will pay very close attention to the scenes in Saw Gerrera's hideout, as well as on Yavin 4, to see if I can spot any more Easter eggs. While we're talking about Saw Gerrera, some of you might not remember, but he actually played a quite substantial role in a few episodes in the Clone Wars series, where he instead rebelled against the Separatists together with his sister, and I think it's pretty cool of them to bring back characters from the Clone Wars series instead of just creating brand new characters for the whole movie. Another pretty cool reference between the Rebel series and Rogue One is in the final battle above the Shield Gate, when General Radus realizes that one of the Star Destroyers has been disabled. He then orders one of the Hammerhead corvettes to smash into the Star Destroyer and try to push it into the other Star Destroyer, which then successfully causes them both to smash into the Shield Gate and destroy it. This Hammerhead corvette might be the very same we saw Leia give to the Rebels in the TV series. Just to recap, in the series, Leia pretended to use these ships to give supplies to the people of Lothal, but then let the rebels steal them on purpose to make sure that Alderaan kept their neutral stance, and now we see these ships make a return in Rogue One, which was a very nice nod to the Rebel series. When Jyn and Cassian looked through all the secret Imperial plans to find the Death Star plans, they mention a project called Black Saber. This could potentially be a hint towards the Empire working on a project relating to the Dark Saber shown in the Clone Wars series that Darth Maul later has in the Rebel series as well. Lastly, we have a reference to A New Hope that I think most people probably spotted. Ponda Baba and Dr. Cornelius Evazan, the two blokes who picked a fight with Luke in the cantina on Tatooine, and Obi-Wan cut off Cornelius' arm. These two can be spotted on Jedha as Jyn bumps into them with Cassian, and they are pretty aggressive here as well, and it almost looked like they wanted to pick a fight with Jyn, just as with Luke in episode 4. But that wraps up this Easter egg video. I just wanted to mention that this video is made about one day after the premiere of the movie, so there's obviously going to be a lot of other Easter eggs found the coming days and weeks, and I will probably make more Rogue One content in the near future. I also want to note that there are some very obvious references, such as the exhaust port on the Death Star, Mon Mothma, and things like that I didn't really want to classify as Easter eggs, but I might talk about them in separate videos. I really thought Rogue One was a fantastic movie, and I have plenty of topics I want to talk about, especially how it affects other movies and the other way around. So I hope you guys don't mind some more movie content the next couple of days and weeks, coupled with my normal Battlefront content of course. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.